Hi, everybody. I'm Tori.
I'm Courtney, and we're your Bitch Pack friends.
Today is the bittersweet season 1 finale of your Bitch Pack friends. It's our 20th episode, which I'm really proud of us for doing 20 episodes.
Wow.
And we're talking about a subject that's near and dear to both of our hearts. I don't know if we should call it Hayley Williams or Paramore. Maybe Hayley Williams of Paramore is a good episode.
What's the difference?
There's no way to know when Hayley Williams ends and Paramore starts.
She has been shoving it in our face for how long? Paramore is a band, and we're like, it's Hayley.
Yeah, for nearly 20 years. So this was inspired because obviously, we love Taylor Swift. Paramore's opening for Taylor Swift on her European tour. Are they opening for her in New Orleans? Or is that going to be... Oh, okay.
I think it's Gracie Abrams, maybe, which is cool, but it's not a girl.
All right. Courtney's going to the New Orleans show. I'm still working out my life. See if I can go to the European show.
You're going to do it. If you don't, I'll be pissed at you.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So Hayley, this is kind of funny to me because I feel like I represent Paramore in my adult life to like my new, like in high school, we were really into Paramore. And it was largely like, I know Paramore was somewhat popular everywhere in like 2006, 2007, but at our school in Parma, Michigan, Courtney really made Paramore happen.
I made Paramore famous.
If it wasn't for you, Paramore would not be a thing at Western High School.
Then really we have to thank my brother because he's the one who played it in the car, and I was like, is this a girl?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Donnie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Paramore was super popular in high school. But then like as I've, gotten out into the world and like talked to people, most people never heard of Paramore. Some people are like, oh yeah, they're kind of a bad band. And then some people like them. But one of my work friends, we have this ongoing joke where I'm always like, Paramore's coming back, and he's like, they're not coming back. Like they're never gonna come back. But I feel like I've been proven right by them opening for Taylor Swift because this is literally the biggest tour in music history, and they're on it. So like they're back, baby. They're back.
Here they are.
So that's put Hayley and Paramore back in the spotlight, and so we've been following them a bit. You sent me that reel where she like flashed the crowd after.
God love her.
Classic. She's a rock star.
There she is.
But Hayley got on Instagram or whatever her preferred social media website is, and she was like, for you guys that are new to Paramore, you should listen to this podcast on Bandslang because it actually is like pretty accurate minus some dates. So I listened to it. It's 3 hours long. So if you're up for that, I mean, I recommend it. But
Which I was not.
3 hours is a long 3 hours is a long time to listen to a podcast, even about something that you like.
I did try. I don't even know if I got 30 minutes in, but it's like, I have 3 kids. I can't do anything uninterrupted. So it's just not fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the many reasons why we here at Bitch Pack are a 30-minute podcast is because that's a digestible
short and sweet, baby.
Digestible amount of time. So we're going to talk about Paramore. I'm going to throw in some tidbits about what I learned on the podcast. And then Courtney's has,
I'll react.
Decades of knowledge about Paramore that she's also going to throw in here. But I actually, if you're okay with this, I want to talk before we get into like facts about Paramore and why we love them. We do have some issues with Hayley right now, particularly that I feel like we should just get the bad stuff out of the way first.
Okay.
And just let's talk about the bad stuff, get it out of the way, and then we can focus on the good stuff.
Okay.
So number 1 would be that she did this song with Taylor Swift, Castles Crumbling, which we were really looking forward to. And it's not even bad. It's just okay. It's like meh. It's like, I would prefer it if it was bad. At least it would have like...
Yep. I listened to it a good amount. I mean, I know the words to it, so I listened to it enough. But I'm not going to play it every day.
It's just
or
fine.
Every week.
Yeah, it's just fine. And it's like, give me something. Give me something to sink my teeth into.
That was not Paramore. The Paramore that I love, that was not it.
It did sound a lot like Hayley Williams' like solo album to me, but that's not what I wanted.
Which I didn't like.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. But and then also like, so she did the song with Taylor. It was fine, whatever. I also partially blame Taylor because all the bonus songs on that album were not that good and overpromised on the rock and underdelivered.
So overpromised. We were we wanted a Paramore song featuring Taylor. We wanted a Fall Out Boy song featuring Taylor. And I guess we were wrong.
We were wrong yet again.
So sorry.
And they've been on tour with her in Europe for over a month.
And haven't played the song.
She hasn't played Castles Crumbling. And
I thought they would do it every night.
Yeah, I did too. I thought Taylor would bring out the band every night during the Speak Now set, and they would do Castles Crumbling, and it was going to be awesome. And they're not doing it.
I was expecting acoustic. What was it? Nothing New that she did with.
Okay.
What's her name? Blonde girl.
Yeah.
And they did it every night while she was there, right?
Yeah. I just thought that she wouldn't. I thought Hayley wouldn't do it without the band, so I thought it was going to be like a band thing.
Maybe that's the reasoning.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so there's that. And I don't know. I just feel like Hayley's like a little bit of a diva. And after listening to Bandsplain, I feel like I have a little bit more sympathy for her because I feel like she spent like all of her teens and 20s trying to make everybody happy and doing what everybody wanted to do and failing. And then now she's like 30 and she's like, you know what? I'm not doing what you guys want anymore.
Fuck you guys.
Which I kind of support, but I'm also like, can you do more rock songs?
Yeah. Can we have the sound that you used to make? So I do remember at one point, I think she did decide to do a makeup thing where it was like CoverGirl or whatever. She was like, yeah, I was offered this back in like 07 or 08, whenever they like really took off. She was like, I didn't take it because I always just wanted it to be about the music, even though I was interested in these things. Like, even though she is into makeup, she, I think, was just trying to make the band happy. And then another thing, the part in the podcast that I did hear that I already knew, but I liked the way they like told it, is that when she signed the contract where it's just her name is signed, it's not Paramore the band, it's Hayley Williams. And that's where a lot of the beef came in with the rest of the band members, was it's Hayley's the only one signed. But she was 15 when this happened? She's a teenager making grown-up decisions that even a grown-up doesn't really know what they're doing, what they're putting their signature on.
Yeah.
And so that really put into perspective, like, she was a teenager making adult decisions and they were pissed at her about it.
Yeah. And it's the other teenagers who are pissed at her about it, which is like just a recipe for disaster, is all these teenagers thinking that they're like, they know what's best in this multi-million-dollar business decision. And so I think that was something I was struck by, like, as I was listening to the podcast, is how young they were. Like, they put out like 3 albums before they were 21 or something like that. And that might be a little fuzzy on the numbers, but they were really young. That's right. They were really young when they put these out, and like they didn't know. Like, I don't even know. It almost struck me as like listening like to the Avril Lavigne story of just like, I was a teenager, and then the next thing you knew, I was sitting in a record.
I was a rock star.
And they did say that like part of the reason that they even signed the band was because like they were trying to ride on the success of Avril, of being like, hey, girls can do punk pop now, or punk rock or whatever. So like, let's get another girl.
Yeah, here we go.
So they were kind of lucky in that sense. But I mean, that just goes to show like like Paramore is Hayley, and Hayley is Paramore, and like
they would be nothing without her.
I'm very sorry to the guys in the band who are good at guitar, but like you guys are replaceable.
I mean, if Hayley decides she doesn't want to do this anymore, they're done. They're toast. Yeah. Anybody else could leave and she could keep going. Yeah, as Paramore.
The only reason they're still in the band, and the only reason the band is as famous as it is because Hayley sacrificed and fought for them to stay where they are, and the way they repay her is to be mad at her. Like,
yeah, and it seems like she has a good enough band at this point where like they understand that, or at least accept it. Like, it is her.
Yeah. I'm glad they appreciate, and not to say that they're not talented, but like, I mean, one thing they kept saying over and over again in the podcast was like, you have to be real to be a famous musician. You have to be both really talented and really charismatic. And like most people are not. Most people are neither. Some people are one, and then like a rare few minority of people are both. And like if you're lucky enough to be both, like then you can be, you know, and lucky on top of that, you can maybe be famous. But like the guys in the band, like they're not frontmen. They would never. You know why they haven't gone off and done their own solo thing? Because they can't. Because
nobody cares. But some of them have. Like I know the drummer Zach. I think he had a band. And then like his brother, who was lead guitar, Josh, who Hayley had dated. I think he went off and I think he had a band also, which went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, sure, they can start a band, but like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be good as Paramore? No.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel for her like in that situation because I feel like she really just wanted to be a band girly and the band was not cooperating.
Well, yeah. But I think it was a good move for her to be like, I want to be a band because we already had Avril.
Yeah.
Like a solo artist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. And that was like the thing was like bands when we were like juniors and seniors in high school. We liked the full band. We liked emo.
Yeah. That was the height of the emo.
That's what was in
punk rock stuff. Yeah, good times.
Such good times.
So one thing I was thinking about and what they kept kind of talking about in the podcast was I like understood this emotionally, but I never would have like said it in words, is just like how good of a songwriter Hayley is. And I know a lot of like they collaborate a lot, but like Hayley's especially in the beginning was one of the main songwriters. And then they were just like pulling out all these lines of songs and I was like, I never thought about that before, but like that's really poetry. And I don't know. It sounds
their very first album.
Yeah.
So good. The lyrics. Like way deeper than I think they would have been like 15. She would have been 15 maybe at that point. And it's like I still can't do that.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I'll read them out loud. They might sound silly, but like maybe if my heart stops beating, it won't hurt this much. That's beautiful. Like
that's so emo.
I'm finding out that maybe I was wrong, that I've fallen down and I can't do this alone. See, I'm trying to find my place, but it might not be here where I feel safe. Like who even thinks
sweet girl.
Like, that's really like that's good stuff.
Once a whore, you're nothing more. Oh.
Yeah, she meant it.
Yeah.
So yeah, good writer. And well, I kept thinking a lot about like, because they were famous before Taylor Swift really like became Taylor Swift, but like they used a lot of the tactics of their time, like the live journal. Like, did you used to read their live journal?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like that's like a really like direct connection. And like Hayley especially would just write these like outpourings, like deep emotional, like here's what I'm going through. Here's what it's like. And so like fans could be really connected. And
you felt like she was one of your friends.
Yeah.
Reading those.
Yeah. And so I feel like that just like made such a strong emotional connection and like proves that like not only she's a good songwriter, but she's just a good like writer and communicator.
Yeah. She's a good rock star.
Yeah. But yeah, she here's this, and then just kind of going along with like you know, of the music of the time. Here's a quote that I pulled out. This is from Gigawise. It's a review of All We Know Is Falling, their first album. It says, Paramore are for the kids who think Pink is not cool enough, but My Chemical Romance are too scary. They want to rebel, but they have to be in bed by 9 o'clock. Paramore is not terrible. They're simply a transitional band. That was a bad review of Paramore. I'm just saying that they're like
Listen, Pink is my favorite color.
My mom really likes pink.
Pink is my favorite color. Pink.
But yeah, so yeah, I feel like too listening to the like Paramore is kind of like a caricature of the bands that are like fighting all the time. Like didn't one guy, Jeremy, left the band before All We Know even came out?
I just had a realization. Were you talking about Pink the artist?
Yeah.
I'm like, What's wrong with the color pink?
I thought you were making a joke, and I was like, I don't really get it, but I trust.
No, I was fully lost.
I trust you.
Pink needs a last name.
Pink.
Pink, the singer.
Pink. I think her real last name is Moore. Alicia Moore is her name, but
just Pink.
Yeah. All
right, back on track.
So people quitting the band, people fighting, people leaving during recording sessions, mostly Jeremy, and then also who he was like the old guy of the band, but really he was like 19 when
he's so mature.
And Hayley and Josh secretly dating, which is like I feel like that was like a big deal in high school because everybody was like, oh, they're dating, but it's a secret, but we know that it's happening.
Yeah. You like felt like you were in on the secret.
Yeah. But then they didn't even like formally, correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't even say that they were dating until they had already broken up, right? Like officially?
I think that's right.
Which is like such a bummer. And I don't know. Just feel like
why was it a secret?
Yeah. Like why did they feel like they had to keep it a secret? And like obviously all the band, I just feel like it'd be really annoying to be one of the other guys in the band at that point, you know.
The Josh and Hayley show.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like everybody knew they were dating or should date or would date or something. And then it
made sense.
They were like, joke's on you, we already did, and we broke up.
Yeah. And then Misery Business was about Josh.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think there was a moment where I was like, I think they're together. And it was like an acoustic, playing, it was a video of them playing Misery Business acoustic. So it's just her and Josh. And she's, belting it out. And then he starts doing the guitar solo. And she's like, yeah, Josh, and like pats him on the back. And I was like, I'm seeing something here.
There was something to that pat on the back.
And I was like, okay, so Hayley is letting this girl have it. And then Josh lets this girl have it with the guitar solo. And I'm like, so they're both yelling at her in their own language. That's how my 18-year-old self saw that.
Wow, that's deep.
It was so deep.
But it didn't last. And it's not, I couldn't do it. I couldn't continue to be in a band with somebody that I had broken up with. Maybe that's my own immaturity. I don't know. Maybe that's them being in denial. How about that?
You literally have to like live with them.
Yeah.
When you're on tour. That's just a lot.
Yeah. So
even if it's a civil breakup, no thank you.
Yeah. But then after they broke up, I feel like that was kind of the beginning of the end of the band.
It was.
Then they started like dividing even further. And then let's see. So on Riot, that's when they kind of talk about, that's when it's like, oh, something's happening here. They're getting together. Just kidding. They broke up. And then in Brand New Eyes, which, do you like Brand New Eyes?
Fuck stuff? You. I do. Yeah. I like Brand New Eyes.
That's when it's like,
it's their most pissed off album. And I think that's why I like it.
Yeah. But they're like singing about how they're about to break up. The band is about to break up.
It's just like so much tension.
Yeah. And it's like, are you guys even still a band? Like
are we good?
And then, no, they're not a band anymore. They break up after that.
Almost.
And, wait, when do they break up? Is there another?
That's when Josh and Zach left. And then Jeremy didn't leave until after Self-Titled, right?
I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah. So lots of drama happening there. And I sort of thought, like, when I think about Paramore, I'm like, I like their early stuff. So like All We Know, Riot, and Brand New Eyes. And then after that, I'm like, whatever, take it or leave it. But actually Self-Titled
slaps. If I'm going to listen to Paramore, I don't go past Self-Titled.
Yeah.
Self-Titled and everything before.
But I forgot how much I like Self-Titled. Yeah, I need to give credit where credit is due. Ankle Biters. Love
Hell
it.
yeah. Ankle Biters.
And there's a lot of like anger in that song of Brand New Eyes is kind of like trying to hold on to something before it breaks, and then Self-Titled is like, well, it broke and here we are. Like
here we are. Fuck those guys.
We are still here.
Without you.
Yeah. And then, so after that, some time passes, and then I forgot. I've been like 2 years ago, I was in the height of my Taylor Swift obsession, and I watched the Bad Blood music video like 7 times. I forgot Hayley was in it.
Here she was.
She's one of the girls.
She was the lead, I'm pretty sure.
And
that video was about Hayley for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I feel like I hope people in the future will watch that and look back and learn things about our time from that music.
It's so funny because that video, and just like Taylor at that time, it's like model Hayley Williams.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
Because she's beautiful.
Yeah.
But she's not a model. She's a rock star.
She's not a Victoria's Secret supermodel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, which, I mean, this still blows my mind when I think about it, but like with the whole Josh thing, the Speak Now song, the Speak Now album was inspired by Hayley Williams, and her having to go to Josh's wedding to some other woman and being like, I need a +1. Can I invite this weird country singer to come with this weird country singer with no friends? His mom asked me to be her friend. So yeah, that was like when that like piece of information came out when Taylor released the Speak Now Taylor's version, and that just blew my mind because
who said that? Who said that it was about Hayley and Josh?
You want me to cite my sources?
Yes, I do. Because I'm still kind of like, they say it's about that, and it makes sense, but has it been confirmed?
I don't know if it's been confirmed. Because
people were also saying that I want to say Castle's Crumbling, but what's Hayley's Castle song? You know what I'm talking about?
Brick by Boring Brick.
Yeah, Brick by Boring Brick. They said that was about Taylor. And I was just like, okay, but I don't know, like, who's saying this? Is it just fans being like, I think this is what it's about?
Okay, so I just Googled it. It is confirmed that Taylor attended Josh Farrow's wedding.
So that's legit.
That's good enough for me. I don't know why.
We're good. Evidence is evidence.
I don't know why you're being so difficult.
I have to. I can't help it.
I'm just
kidding.
Hate
spreading false news.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I do that to my husband all the time because he'll tell me something and then 5 years later I found out it's wrong and I'm like, so now I check sources.
I'm gonna need you to cite your sources before you spread fake news. Okay. I don't know. I'll put it in the notes. I'll look it up. But also, I just want it to be true. Okay.
Okay. Let's just say it's true.
Okay. Thank you. It adds more layers to the lore for me.
All right.
But okay. And then, man, I skipped over this, but I'm just gonna interject it for context. I think I always think that I was in high school not that long ago, which I was, and
unfortunately.
But I mean, not to say that I think I'm still that age, but just I forget how quickly time passes and just how different contexts, different contexts of things. Mm-hmm. So the scene that Paramore came about in 2008, they were nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys, and also Taylor Swift was in that category with them, and Amy Winehouse. So they were all in the same category as Best New Artist in 2008. And I would when I heard that fact, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. All 3 of these people came at different times, and but they weren't. They were all. I think Amy Winehouse won
against Taylor and Hayley.
Yeah. But I just didn't. Oh, Adele won that year. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. You don't like Amy Winehouse?
I never was a fan.
Oh, dude,
of her music at all.
You should listen to Back to Black. It's a great album.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think I just like the sound of her voice doesn't do anything for me.
All right. But yeah, I just thought that was like, and Adele too. Like even all four of those artists, I'm like, are you guys really all the same year? But
Are we sure? I thought Adele was after Paramore, but maybe that was just for us. Because I remember Hayley posting something about Adele and being like, you guys really need to listen to this Adele girl. And then all of a sudden she was huge.
do you think it's because Hayley
Yeah, Hayley made Adele famous. I made Hayley famous, and then Hayley made Adele famous. So really, I made Adele famous.
Adele needs to give you a kickback or something.
A flight to Vegas or something.
Yeah. And then, okay, jumping ahead, I'm sorry, but 2015, did you know that Hayley quit the band? For like a week?
No, I knew they were always like on the verge of quitting, the whole entire band.
Yeah.
But I didn't know there was ever like an official we're done.
Well, no, the band, like Paramore still existed, but Hayley quit for like a very short amount of time. Like literally like less than a month. She was like, I don't want to be in the band anymore. And then one of the guys was like, can you be back in the band?
Probably Taylor, her boo.
Probably Taylor.
He's like, please come back.
Do you like Taylor and Hayley together? Taylor York, not Taylor Swift.
Yes, I do. I know nothing about him at all. They've known each other since they were infants or teenagers, whatever.
Same thing.
But and I love the like fairy tale of it.
Yeah. He seems very supportive, and I think her quitting the band briefly was like related to her feeling depressed, and he had like also gone through depression, I guess, and so he was like, he coaxed her out of it like in a gentle way. He wasn't like, you need to get back in the band. We're all depending on you.
He knew the right way to do it.
He was just like, we're here for you if you ever want to come back.
But also, I love you.
Also, I want to date you.
Also, will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah. She was like, yes to all the above.
Sure.
Okay, so we were happy she's with Taylor York, and everything seems to be going great for them.
I feel like that life too. Like, does anybody really know you unless they're doing what you do?
Yeah, I don't like. Can you imagine having a spouse that's just like at home, like going to a 9 to 5 while you're like touring Europe with Taylor Swift?
You're leaving for how long?
And your boy band.
This is the Eras tour. Yeah, with all your boy band members.
Yeah. Yeah. So we like Taylor. What did you think about? Give me what your thoughts on her relationship with Chad Gilbert.
Blech. I think he's slime. I don't like him. At first, I thought it was cool because it was like, I feel like a teenage fantasy. Like she was a New Found Glory fan, and now she's getting married to one of them. Like how cool, but not cool at all.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems pretty slimy. Like, I don't know. And he's like not, I mean, I know this isn't the most important thing, but she's a lot cuter than him. And
so much cuter.
And yeah, he like, it did bum me out. I mean, I feel like she's like admitted to it, and she's like, you know, that was a bad thing I did, but like admitted to cheating, or like he was married to someone else when they got together. And
were they married? I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Naughty.
I don't know. I need to cite my sources on it. But he was with, I mean, she said that her longest.
She was the other woman.
She said her longest, and he was married to someone else right before he started dating Hayley. And she said that her longest relationship was, she was having an affair. And she dated him for like 9 years before they got married, which is like major. I mean, I don't know. People can do what they want, but for me, that's like a major red flag. Like, why would you date someone for 9 years?
What took so long?
And if you're going to date for someone for 9 years, just like don't get married. I don't know. Why would you get married after 9 years? Like get married after like 2 years, or just like don't. Just be together. Just
what
date.
I never understood the long dating thing. Unless you just like don't want to get married at all, you have no plan to like have kids, then I guess like what's the point?
Yeah. So I don't know. That's always a red flag for me when someone like dates, and I know there are exceptions, so don't come at me, but like dating for 9 years and then getting married, and then he like cheated on her immediately. Like,
Yeah.
what?
And I'm sure it wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
true.
took so long.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, but
But like you said, that's the red flag.
Yeah.
One of the many red flags.
Yeah. And I think now he's married to someone else, and I think he has a kid, and I don't know.
I hope that's going well. Hopefully,
good for him, I guess.
Hopefully some learning lessons along the way.
Yeah. And I did read an interview from his first wife. She's a singer too, but I think she's not as famous. And she got married to someone else, and she's like, I'm happy to be done with that situation. She's like, I don't hate Hayley Williams. I don't hate my ex-husband. I don't even think about them. Like,
she's like, thank you for getting me to where I am today.
Yeah. I mean, literally. And I thought that was a very cool and classy response. But she's like, like, good riddance, Chad Gilbert. Like, you're somebody else's problem now.
Bye, see ya.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I remember I was like finding out that she was the other woman and she did that to another girl. Yeah. That pissed me off, but I blamed him. Just to because I loved her so much. I was like, this guy turned my Hayley into an asshole.
Yeah. Turned Hayley into an asshole. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And they had, I mean, one thing they talked about on the podcast a lot was just like how religious they were growing up as teenagers, and even like some of her early live journal entries were like she like apologized for writing. I don't know if you remember this, but she wrote this really long live journal entry apologizing for writing Misery Business, not because she called whore? No, not because she called someone a whore, because she's used the Lord's name in vain when she said, "Oh, I do God doesn't feel so good." And I was like, how do you go from this to like sleeping with someone else's husband?
Yeah, big jump.
I just feel like she went through some rough time. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it pissed me off too to know that she did that, because I'm like, wow, someone is not a girl's girl.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I feel like she's probably going through a hard time, and she I mean, it sounds like she paid for it. Like,
I think she did.
She got a taste of her own medicine in the end.
Mm-hmm. Came back to bite her.
I mean, I'm not happy that happened to her, but like, it's kind of inevitable.
Sorry.
Like, yeah. So, but yeah, I hope her and Taylor fall in love and get married if they want to, and keep making music.
Happily ever after.
And I hope what's the other one? Zach. I hope he seems chill being the third wheel in the band.
He seems very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Paramore perform like many years ago in New York, and he did a solo during the encore, like he sang, and it was really good.
Oh, really?
And, yeah.
That is cool.
And because I'm sure they do backup, but I've never heard any of the guys sing a lead on a song.
I think I saw him perform. So his band that he had, I think I have seen him perform one of their songs live, like during a Paramore show. Was it that, or was he singing something else?
I don't remember what it was.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. So anything that we need the listeners to know about Hayley Williams or Paramore before we let them go?
No.
You guys should start with the early stuff, go in chronological order if you're new to Paramore. But yeah, they rock.
They do. Rock and roll.
Okay, and then before we sign off, I just want to bring up two small pieces of news this week.
Taylor news?
Taylor adjacent.
Okay.
One, I don't know which one to start with. Okay. One, did you read about Joel Alwyn speaking out about his relationship with Taylor?
I did, and the only thing that really stuck with me was how he made a point to say fully committed relationship. Be like, I never cheated on her.
Were you okay, that's what you took away from that scene?
That's the thing that really stood out to me.
Okay. I thought he was trying to say people there's no way that people would know what was going on under behind the curtains, and I hope people can give me the benefit of the doubt or whatever.
Yeah. It was like a very, like he said something along the lines of there's a huge gap between what happened and what is said.
Yeah.
Or like what people know.
Yeah.
And then he made the point to say it's, hard getting out of a 6-year fully committed relationship.
Yeah.
You're like, stop saying I cheated on her.
Let me read the quote. He says, "What is known and what is spoken will always be different. With that, I found serenity." I roll. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I think he knows that he can't like compete with the Swiftie narrative and them saying, making a monster out of everyone they hate. But
I think
he's like, I gotta say something. He's like, I'm the villain of this story, and he's like, he just needs to say like, there's stuff going on that you guys don't know about, and then like,
which I think he did.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's true. But
hell
like,
yeah.
Yeah. She seems like a tough person to date.
I feel like she'd be a lot, but also like we don't ask for much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be nice to us.
Yeah. I feel like, I do blame Joe Alwyn for all. I don't blame her, and she is a lot, but I feel like she's a lot. So like, what did you think was going to happen, Joe Alwyn?
What were your expectations?
Yeah. He thought she was going to retire and live in the English countryside with him.
No, she's ours, baby.
Yeah. Back to America. She is going to London this weekend, and I feel like she's going to pull out all the stops for that show.
She's going to fuck shit up.
Maybe we'll get maybe they'll do Castles Crumbling.
Maybe they're in the land of castles.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping for that. I'm gonna be watching the news to see what she's up to. And she has like 6 shows in London too.
And she even added extra shows.
I hate how much she loves them.
I know. Why didn't Detroit get extra shows? Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
So I know I've looked up Paramore's set list, but I wonder if Brick by Boring Brick is on it. I can't remember if it was or not, but
I can't remember.
They need to play it in London.
Paramore set list at the Eras Tour. Okay, and the other piece of news that I wanted to get your take on was completely unrelated to Taylor. Castles Crumbling is not on this list.
Boo.
Hard Times, Burning Down the House cover. Still Into You, Caught in the Middle. Ooh, surprise song. They're doing a surprise song. That's cool. The Only Exception. Ugh, that's one of my favorites. Top 3.
So good.
Misery Business. Thank God.
Good. Don't be pulling that from the set list ever again. That was illegal. Go to jail.
Ain't It Fun? And then This Is Why. That whole album of This Is Why I'm not into. But
it's all right. I listened to it. My kids liked it.
Yeah.
But it's not one I like go back to.
Yeah.
What ticks me off? I think they need to put Pressure back on the set list. That was the song that pulled everybody in. All the the OG fans.
Yeah. They owe
Give us Pressure.
They owe it to us.
Or Emergency. Do you remember the intro to Emergency back in
Emergency
06, 07?
Emergency is so good.
So good. And they had like a special intro for it live.
Oh.
It was sick.
They need to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, the other piece of news, Justin Timberlake got a DWI.
Bad boy. What you gonna do?
And you sent me the article about how the cop was too young to know who he was, which I thought was delightful.
I have the picture in my mind of him going, this is gonna ruin the tour. What tour? The world tour. It's just like so dramatic.
Then you also said maybe he would recognize him from Trolls.
It's me, Branch.
You should have tried that. But
Close your eyes.
Listen, if karma is real, I think that Justin Timberlake is going to have a very rough next couple of decades because that man has been living on credit for a long time and being just an awful person and getting everything he wants and
being on top of the world, really.
Yeah.
He got Jessica Biel.
I know. And poor friggin' Jessica Biel. I don't even... Ugh.
She's like, I already had kids with him. It's too late.
Yeah. And I saw I saw like the early news stories, like before they had any real facts coming out, and they said it was like Justin was quoted as saying like he's like, I only had one martini. And then like later on I saw a news story that was like Justin has 7 martinis.
Whoops.
He just, yeah, I mean, I guess
Like you can't afford to hire a driver.
I know, seriously. Like
No excuses.
If I was rich like that, I would never drive again. I would have a private chauffeur drive me everywhere.
My license would expire so fast.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I don't know. It's just stupid you have so much money, you can't call an Uber.
Where were you going?
Yeah. He was on Long Island. He was probably at Jimmy Fallon's house.
Oh no. Jimmy, drop the ball.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to wish Justin the best. I hope he gets what's coming to him.
I think it's on its way.
I feel bad for Jessica Biel because she's had to put up with all of his shenanigans for years, and I'm sure his money and handsomeness is not worth all of the headaches that she has to endure.
Yeah.
So
poor thing.
Yeah. Well, I
feel bad for his kids, really.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bummer. He has like 2 boys, I think, and it's like,
are they boys?
You want to be a good example to them.
Yeah.
I think so. So you know what? Get it together for your boys, Justin. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Who cares about us? Do it for your babies.
And maybe apologize to Brittany. I don't know. Just a thought. Yeah.
I don't know. Write her a nice song.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. Anything else we should throw out there?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, have a great summer, everybody. We're your bitch pack friends.
Bye.
Bye.